What is up, party people? It is book review time. Profit First, Mike Michalowicz, single-handedly my favorite financial book. The book helped me realize that my business contained more cash than I was aware of. I just needed to find it. I needed to find it, I needed to put it to work, and I needed to curtail a bunch of random expenses that I had running through my business for the last, 14, 15 years. Many of us believe if we work a little harder, we will achieve more growth, we'll make more money, but sadly, it never works out that way. So profit is not something that happens miraculously in the future. Profit comes by way of these daily wins. And Mike Michalowicz talks about that in the book Profit First. Think about the best year you've ever had. Was it profitable? I mean, I can tell you that I'd look at my P&Ls monthly, quarterly, at the end of the year, and then I'll look at my bank accounts, and that number and that P&L is not that number that I see in the bank. And I'm always wondering, where did it go? What did I spend it on? So, Profit First takes this fundamental principle of Parkinsons Law, and what that says is work expands to fill the time available to us for completion. If you've got a week to finish a project, you tend to take a week to finish the project. If you've got a day to knock something out, you're gonna do your darndest to take care of business and get it back to a client or a prospect. One of the best analogies I've ever seen or read about in a business book is covered in Profit First. And Mike Michalowicz talks about a tube of toothpaste. You get a brand new tube of toothpaste, you open that bad boy up and you just smear it all over your toothbrush, and it's, your kids probably have it like 3 inches high. But if you go to Parkinson's Law and you really think about that tube of toothpaste, when you get down to the end of that tube, you will do anything to squeeze the life out of that toothpaste. Even, like my grandmother used to flatten it out with her toothbrush. My kids just they mangle it and destroy it. And there's all these pockets with extra toothpaste in there. But it's pretty amazing what we'll do when our resources are limited. And that in essence is what Mike Michalowicz talks about in this book. I want you to go back to high school or college and in your accounting classes and think about what we were all taught. Sales minus expenses equals profit. Well, Mike Michalowicz wants you to think about this a different way. Sales minus profit equals expenses. It allows us to reduce the expenses that aren't making us money. Maybe it's things we've got on an auto draft or something that's coming out of your credit card once a month, once a year, things you just don't need. It definitely helps you get rid of waste. And I can tell you, I read this book, it was about 4, maybe almost 5 years ago when I initially read it. I wasn't at a time and place where I thought I needed it. And I came back since then and I've read this book multiple times. I've implemented it into my business and hands down, it has made significant changes to our financial model. So on the 10th and the 25th of each month, Michelle in my office, who's my rad assistant, she goes in and she moves some money around and allocates it to various accounts we have. At the end of each quarter, we take a quarterly distribution. We take 50% out of our profit account, and that just goes in my pocket. It goes to buy things on my bucket list, but very rarely do I take that profit and pour it back into my business. That's one of the things that Mike Michalowicz talks about avoiding. Pay yourself, take care of yourself first. So, awesome book. I highly recommend it. I do have a spreadsheet that I use if you'd like me to share it with you, where I break down my quarters and my different allocations, percentages of income, and throw it at these various accounts. So, hit me up if you got any questions. Have an awesome day. Peace.